Hi there, Richard D. Coffin of 666. How are you? If someone is not affiliated with any existing political party, what are they? If someone is someone who has never had sex, what are they? If you see someone who's had their arms and legs removed, what are they? If there's someone who chooses not to have sex, what are they? If there's someone who has no sexual desires or urges for anyone or anything, what are they? If you see a man on the street sleeping there and living there, what is he? If you see someone who has just been told that they've lost all their money, what are they? If you see someone who is walking around without any clothes on, what are they? If you see someone who hasn't got any fucking hair, what are they? If you hear that someone, if someone tells you that they've had their genitals removed, what are they? If someone cannot conceive, what are they? If someone does not have the power of their limbs because they're paralysed, what are they? Now you might not have got the answer to all of those questions, but you've probably got enough. And my point is this. Every day we go around and we see things, or we know of things, or we can discuss things, or subjects come up where we define people by something that they are lacking, without, or simply do not have, or do not do. We do it all the fucking time. You see a guy sleeping on the street, there's a guy who's homeless. There's a guy who's just lost all his money, he's bankrupt. There's a guy whose wife has just left him, he's divorced. There's a person without a girlfriend or boyfriend, they're single. That people have this obsession where, I don't want to be defined as an atheist. I don't want to be an atheist. You don't define someone by what they're not. Yes, we do. We do it every fucking day. We do it all the time. With many different fucking areas and with many different issues and subjects. We do it all the time. We constantly defining people by what they are not. You see a guy without any clothes on, he's a nudist. You have defined him and labelled him based on something that he is without. And it comes, basically this whole thing stems from Sam Harris. This is people parroting Sam Harris, and this argument Sam Harris makes where he says, we don't need the word atheist. Well, I'm sorry, Sam, it's a word in the fucking dictionary that exists. You can't change that, sunshine. And just because you have some delicate sensibility where you don't like a certain word, or you feel a word has a negative connotation, oh fucking boo-hoo. There are lots of words that have negative connotations. You don't fucking solve the problem by abandoning the word. That just makes the word even more negative. No, I don't want to be an atheist. I want to be a rationalist, or I want to be a skeptic. I want to be a bright, or I want to be a pearl, or whatever the fucking. You can't choose this. You are what you are. And sometimes what you are is going to be defined by something you're not. And the problem I have with Sam Harris's argument is he uses the example of non-astrology. You're a non-astrologer. We don't call people non-astrologers. Well, first of all, there's a big difference between saying something is a something and someone is non-something. Non means something you're not. What you are not is infinite. There are an infinite amount of things you are not. And you might say, well, there's an infinite amount of things you are without. No, because as a human being, there are only so many things I can actually be with. I am not a 15-legged yellow giraffe called Barry. I could never have the ability to call myself a 15-legged yellow giraffe called Barry. The fact is this. We all come onto YouTube, and we choose, for a great period of time here, we choose to enter into discussion and debate and conversation based on theology with theists. You have to define yourself as an atheist because that is your position on the issue. You wouldn't get an asexual going around saying, I don't want to be an asexual anymore. It's a negative connotation. I want to be called a sort of orgasm intolerant. If I'm having a political discussion, but I am someone who is not affiliated with any existing political party or group, or I've got a political outlook that has not been defined in any way, because it's unique in many different aspects, I am apolitical. You know? That's the fucking bottom line. You can't come on it. Don't come on it and start wanting to discuss theology with theists when you're someone who does not have a theistic belief or a theistic outlook, and then bitch and moan that you don't want to be. I am not it. You are. Right? No, you're not defined as it fully. But when in a theological discussion you are. But then if you were discussing politics, you'd be defined as a liberal. If you were discussing sport, you'd be defining yourself by the team or the support, or the sport you prefer watching. If you were discussing television or theatre or film or art or sculpture, you'd be defining yourself as the person who prefers a certain aspect or a certain genre. This is what we do all the time. And I get bored shitless with people parroting this nonsense from Sam Harris that says that we don't define people by what we are, because we do every day, and there's nothing wrong with that, because there's a big difference between astrology and theism. People don't start wars based on astrology. People don't want political parties in power, and people don't go and vote for certain people, and people don't run on certain policies and try and influence certain legislation based on astrology. People don't. Some people do live their life, but it's not something that is of that relevance. It's not something that is important and that matters. Whether you like it or not, theism is something that matters. Maybe one day it won't, but for now, call yourselves what you are. Don't run away from the word, because all you're doing is confusing the issue, and you're making everything else more complicated. These are words that we've defined. Live with them. It's 7 letters. We can all get used to that, can't we? Richard Z. Coughlin, 666. Good night. May God bless, and chill the fuck out.